We have covered how VCs evaluate startups, business models, founder characteristics, and exits. Now, let me bring these frameworks to life through real founder stories. These are not theoretical examples. These are founders who spoke at Stanford, shared their actual decisions, and explained what worked and what did not. Their lessons are specific and actionable. Let me start with GoGuardian, a billion-dollar company built by a first-time founder who made one critical pivot. Advait Shinde was born in 1984. He grew up frustrated with busy work in K-12 education. After UCLA computer science and working as a Google engineer on Google Pay, he decided to build something in education. He was a first-time founder with no management experience. He learned on the job. This is more common than you might think. Many successful founders figure it out as they go. His original vision was ambitious: use machine learning to analyze student behavior and provide deep insights to teachers, pattern recognition at scale, data-driven education. The technology worked, but teachers did not want it. Advait spent time in classrooms. He listened. Teachers told him, "I do not need sophisticated insights. I need students to stop browsing YouTube during class. My immediate problem is distraction." This is where many founders fail. They fall in love with their technical vision and ignore customer reality. Advait did something different. He pivoted. GoGuardian became a Chrome extension that helped teachers manage student attention. Simple, practical, solving the problem teachers actually had, not the problem Advait thought they should have. The lesson: user experience and emotional satisfaction drive growth, not technical sophistication. Teachers felt relief when students stayed on task. That emotional response drove word of mouth. Here is a business model insight that matters. GoGuardian was cash flow positive from day one. They did not burn venture capital for years, hoping to eventually make money. Revenue came immediately. By 2018, GoGuardian had $20 million in revenue. Sumeru Equity Partners invested. The company was already profitable. They were raising to accelerate, not to survive. Advait made another strategic decision. Instead of selling directly to schools, he partnered with device resellers. When schools bought Chromebooks, GoGuardian came pre-installed. 50% of revenue came from channel partnerships. This is riding the wave. Chromebooks were exploding in schools. GoGuardian attached itself to that growth. They did not create demand. They captured demand that already existed. Then came COVID. Schools closed. In April 2020, Advait gave GoGuardian's products away free to any school that needed them. Competitors called it crazy. Result: massive adoption. When schools returned and budgets normalized, GoGuardian was already embedded in their workflows. Free during crisis converted to paid after crisis. By 2021, Tiger Global invested $200 million. GoGuardian reached unicorn status, over $1 billion valuation, 25 million students, half of all US K-12, use the platform. In 2016, Advait made Forbes 30 under 30 in education, but recognition came after the hard work, not before. GoGuardian then pursued acquisition strategy. They bought Pear Deck for interactive presentations, Edulastic for assessment, TutorMe for tutoring. Each acquisition expanded their offering to schools. Today, GoGuardian serves over 10,000 school districts. The first-time founder with no management experience built a platform used by half of American students. The GoGuardian lessons for you: listen to customers even when they reject your vision. Solve the immediate pain, not the sophisticated problem. Be cash flow positive early. Use distribution partnerships. Be generous during crises. Acquire to expand. Now let me tell you about CodeSpark, a company that reached 30 million children by removing words entirely. Grant Hosford had two daughters. He wanted to teach them how computers work, the ABCs of computer science. He looked for resources and found nothing suitable for young children. Grant's background was unusual for tech. Tufts Fletcher School, a graduate school of international affairs. He had lived on 4 continents. This global perspective shaped the product. He partnered with game designer Joe Chauchet, who had 3 children of his own, 2 fathers who wanted to teach their kids. Personal motivation that would sustain the M through hard years. Their innovation, a no-words interface. Visual symbols only. Children learn programming logic without reading a single word. The no-words approach solved 3 problems at once. First, it worked for pre-readers. Second, it worked globally without translation. Third, it worked for children with ADHD and dyslexia who struggle with text-heavy interfaces. Design for constraints often creates better design for everyone. By removing words, CodeSpark became more accessible to more children than any competitor. In 2016, CodeSpark raised a $4.1 million seed round. The lead investor was Bill Gross, founder of Idealab, one of the original startup incubators. Gross saw what Grant was building and believed. Here's a number that matters. 54% of CodeSpark users are female, the highest percentage of any coding platform. Grant designed for girls from the start. Characters, colors, narratives that do not assume coding is for boys. This was intentional from day one, not added later. Inclusive design as a core principle, not an afterthought. The business model was clever, free for public schools, libraries, and nonprofits. Subscription for home use. This meant every teacher and librarian became a marketing channel. Parents heard about CodeSpark from educators they trusted. Today, CodeSpark reaches 30 million kids in over 190 countries. It is the #1 kids coding platform globally and the top grossing coding app on iOS. Kids code 30,000 to 35,000 games daily on the platform. They are not just consuming, they are creating. Grant calls programming a new literacy that is crucial to unlocking creativity. The CodeSpark lessons, design for constraints and you may create something universal. Build for inclusion from the start, not as an afterthought. Let institutional users market to consumer users. Focus on creation, not just consumption. Now let me tell you about Teachee, a Brazilian startup that shows how to build for developing markets. Pedro Siciliano's grandmother was a teacher. His mother instilled the value of education. He was top of his class at Instituto Militar de Engenharia, Brazil's top engineering school. After engineering, Pedro worked at McKinsey as an analyst. Then he became a product leader at Descomplica, a major Brazilian edtech company. He understood both strategy and execution. Then he came to Stanford for his MBA in 2024. At Stanford, he built Teachee while still in school, not after graduation, during his insight. Teachers in Brazil spend enormous time on lesson planning and grading. AI could save 80% of that time, but the solution had to work in Brazilian conditions. What are Brazilian conditions? Low connectivity in many regions. Paper-based assessments still common. Curriculum standards that differ from American or European frameworks. Pedro trained AI on Brazil's national curriculum specifically, the base national comum curricular. 1 million vetted teaching materials, 40,000 verified lesson plans. The AI speaks Brazilian education, not generic education. His key innovation for developing markets, paper exam grading via photo upload. Teachers photograph handwritten exams, AI grades them, no scanners needed, no reliable internet during the exam, just a phone camera after. This is building for constraints. Pedro did not assume connectivity. He did not assume devices in every student's hands. He designed for the reality of Brazilian schools, not the ideal. In 2023, Teachee raised $1.6 million, a large edtech seed round in Brazilian. Investors saw the traction and the vision. In 2024, Teachee raised a $7 million Series A. The investors, Goodwater Capital and Reach Capital, serious Silicon Valley firms backing a Brazilian founder. The platform supports Portuguese, English, and Spanish. This is not just Brazil, it is Latin America and beyond. Over 1 million teachers across Latin America and Asia now use Teachee, from Stanford MBA project to continental scale in 2 years. The Teachee lessons align to local curriculum standards. Generic AI fails in education. Designed for your market's actual infrastructure, not ideal infrastructure. Teacher burnout is universal. Solving it creates global opportunity. Build while in school if you can. Finally, let me tell you about Aaron Bali, AN Udemy, the most inspiring founder journey I know. Aaron was born in 1984 in Duralova, a small village in Malatya province, eastern Turkey. The village's main industry was apricot farming. Population, tiny. His mother was the teacher in a one-room schoolhouse, one teacher for multiple grades. Students taught themselves 80% of the time because there was no other option. In 2001, Aaron won a silver medal at the International Mathematical Olympiad. A village kid from a one-room schoolhouse competing at the global level. How? The internet changed his life. Self-taught through online resources when his village had nothing. He experienced firsthand how digital learning could democratize opportunity. Aaron moved to California with his co-founders Gagan Biani and Oktay Kaglar. They founded Udemy in 2010. For a year, Aaron worked 2 jobs simultaneously. Udemy by day, speed data engineer from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. He was literally funding his startup with his night job. This is what persistence looks like. Investors rejected him. Over 30 rejections before the first yes. 30 people told him his idea would not work. He continued anyway. Udemy's model was radical. Anyone can teach, anyone can learn. A marketplace where instructors create courses, and Udemy provides the PLA T-form, democratizing both sides of education. Today, Udemy has 59 million learners, 60,000 instructors, over 200,000 courses. It is one of the largest learning platforms on earth. In 2021, Udemy went public at a $2 billion valuation. The Village Kids company rang the bell on Wall Street. But here is what makes Aaron extraordinary. Udemy was not enough. He also founded Carbon Health, a healthcare technology company. Carbon Health is now valued at over $3.3 billion. 2 unicorns from a village kid. This is not luck. This is relentless execution combined with vision. The Udemy lessons, the internet levels the playing field. Use it. Network matters. The Founder Institute helped Aaron connect when he knew no one. Persistence through rejection, 30 no's before 1 yes. Personal experience of a problem creates motivation that lasts. Now let me pull patterns across these 4 founders. Pattern 1, they all solved problems they personally understood. Advait knew education frustration. Grant wanted to teach his daughters. Pedro's grandmother was a teacher. Aaron experienced educational scarcity firsthand. Pattern 2, they all pivoted when customers spoke. GoGuardian pivoted from ML insights to distraction management. The others iterated continuously based on user feedback. Pattern 3, they all found creative distribution. Chrome extension partnerships, free for schools, teacher word of mouth, marketplace where instructors recruit students. None relied on traditional advertising. Pattern 4, they all designed for constraints, no words interface, paper exam grading, operating on minimal funding, constraints forced creative solutions. Pattern 5, they achieved real metrics before raising significant capital. GoGuardian was cash flow positive. CodeSpark had millions of users. Teachee had 1 million teachers. Udemy had a marketplace working, traction first, funding second. For your Smile participation, analyze one of these founder stories using the 7 due diligence framework from our earlier segment. Which founder did you choose? What was the real problem they solved? Who is the actual customer? How did they build a moat? What was their business model? Why did they succeed where others failed? Comment on three peers analyses. Evaluate based on analytical depth. Sample smile posting. Founder, Teachy. Problem, teacher burnout from administrative tasks, specifically in developing market conditions. Customer, teachers in Latin American schools, due to the buyer as often the school administrator or ministry. Market, initially Brazil, expanding to Latin America and Asia. Moat, AI trained on specific national curriculum, plus 1 million vetted local materials competitors would need years to replicate. Business model, SaaS to institutions. Why they succeeded. Pedro understood that solutions must fit local infrastructure. Competitors built for first world conditions. Teachy built for Brazilian reality. The paper grading feature alone, seemingly low-tech W, as actually a key differentiator. These founders are not geniuses with ideas nobody else had. They are persistent people who listened to customers, iterated relentlessly, and built for real conditions. You can do the same.